What's up, everyone? This is Tony with JRNYcrypto. In this video, we're going to be discussing the Ethereum London Hard Fork, why I'm bullish on Ethereum during July, and why it's likely to have more profits than Bitcoin, as well as some other major things happening in the crypto space you guys should definitely know about, and some huge news for small cap altcoins that I think have high potential for end of year. So before we get started, I do appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell to be notified for my daily crypto videos. Alright guys, so we do have a small dip in the markets today. Bitcoin and Ethereum down around 4%, but we actually had the crypto space on a steady rise throughout the weekend. Bitcoin was testing $36,000. So everyone's talking about the Wyckoff accumulation right now, and there was an important article here on July 2nd. Bitcoin spring, Wyckoff groundhog indicates crypto winter may last another 6 weeks. So everyone that's been talking about the Wyckoff thinks we're headed out of accumulation here back into all-time highs for Bitcoin over the next month. But this person is calling that we're still in the early phases of the Wyckoff accumulation. So still in the middle of phase B here, which means we are going to have another dead cat bounce if this does play out before we actually retest around $26,000 to $27,000 Bitcoin. So this would line up accurately with what a lot of the experts in the crypto space think, that the accumulation is going to last much longer than this, and we are going to test the mid 20,000s before we head back up to all-time highs by end of year. So definitely something that could play out here. We're not out of the woods yet. Definitely the next couple weeks are very crucial if we are headed into the last phase here of Wyckoff accumulation. Keep in mind, we could experience another dead cat bounce as well. This would line up for sometime in July, where we're going to be retesting $38,000 to $40,000 Bitcoin. So as you guys can imagine, there's billions of dollars waiting on the sidelines, waiting to see where the markets are headed. And I do think we need to be on a steady rise for at least a few weeks before a lot of that money is re-entering the markets. So we do have a lot of fear and speculation in the space as well. There is something concerning for mid-July here. So is Bitcoin in danger of losing $30,000 with Grayscale's big GBTC unlocking in 2 weeks? So we have a total of 16,000 Bitcoin worth of GBTC shares unlocking in July. That is a lot of Bitcoin being added to circulation. Of course, some of this will be sold and adding to the selling pressure on exchanges, making it much harder to break major resistance levels. So that is another factor to consider here. And we're definitely not out of the woods yet. So I think we're going to have some sort of bounce in July, even if we aren't headed out of Wyckoff accumulation yet, and headed back upwards towards the end of year. And we are in the middle of phase B here, where we're going to have another 6 weeks or so of accumulation before we're headed back to all-time highs. I do think we're going to have another good bounce here, which would line up pretty accurately with the Wyckoff as well. So really anything can happen here. Wyckoff accumulation schematic is not meant to be followed exactly to a T. Things are going to be much different, especially in a very volatile space like cryptocurrencies. So a great quote here from Michael Saylor that does back this, and I think is very important for us to understand. The relevant data is whether one dude with $10 billion decides to buy Bitcoin tomorrow. That's not in any of your charts or data. So this is very important to understand. While charts and data and technical analysis can help us make better decisions, it's not nothing is guaranteed, especially in a volatile space like this, where it doesn't take as much money to move things as it does in the stock market. So that is something to consider. I think something like this will happen when we least expect it, and it's really going to give a massive boost to the crypto space. So very interesting post here from Willy Woo showing a massive spike in supply held by entities with balances of 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin. So whales are accumulating huge amounts of Bitcoin at these lower prices here, which is a great indicator that the bottom is in, and definitely giving confidence to others that these are good prices to be buying Bitcoin and altcoins. So definitely a good sign there, in my opinion. So we have talked about the Bitcoin stock to flow model in the past, and why if we do follow this somewhat accurately, we should be peaking over a $100,000 Bitcoin at some point end of year, even in 2022 at some point here. But right now we are well below the stock to flow model line here. So we can see the last bull market did peak well above this, and then the bottom of the bear market was well below the line. So the stock to flow model is generally applied to natural resources like gold or silver. The commodities are often referred to as store of value resources that in theory should retain their value over the long term due to the scarcity and low flow. So Plan B posted here, June closing price 35,000 is far below the stock to flow model as it was in January of 2019. Next 6 months will make or break for the stock to flow model again. So we'll see how things play out here, but definitely some crucial times here. I definitely think the next couple weeks are crucial here. If we are going to be either having a dead cat bounce or breaking out of this accumulation phase, a lot of people do believe this accumulation phase needs to last much longer than it currently has, which would mean another month or two of this sideways price action, testing between 30,000 and 42,000. So if we do have a bounce here during July, I probably will be taking some profits here, and then I will be accumulating and buying the dip if we do drop below. If we don't, then that's fine as well. I'll just be waiting for any future dips to dollar cost average. So it is important to refine your exit strategies as well as your entry strategies if you continue to accumulate, and know exactly where you want to buy and where you want to be selling. Personally, I like to do staggered buy and sell orders. So since we can't time the exact bottom or the exact top 100% of the time, it is good to stagger once you have hit a certain price level. So for instance, if it does, the price does start increasing and you're say 50% up in a short period of time, you might want to take 15-20% profit. If it goes up another 30%, take another 20% profit, and so on. So I do stagger with smaller percents than that, and I do keep that on the sidelines, and then I do have funds ready to buy the dips when they do happen, because that is inevitable in volatile markets. It's going to be a roller coaster, so it's best to be prepared at least with a small percent of your portfolio. Keep in mind, very high percent of my portfolio is just long-term staking. I don't touch it, I don't try to flip trade it, and I just have it earning passive income. So definitely a good time to refine your entry and exit strategies, know where you want to be buying and selling, and what your plans are for the long term. All right, guys, so I do want to talk about the Ethereum London Hard Fork, my personal strategy here, how I'm going to be trading. I did acquire a good amount of Ethereum for this, and it's already doing quite well compared to Bitcoin. So Ether price hits 2-week high as London Hard Fork momentum builds. So we do have to keep in mind, while the London Hard Fork is scheduled for July, Ethereum is known for having major network delays. So don't get your hopes up here. And even if they do launch on time, there's going to be a lot of people that sell the mainnet, and there will be a dip. This is just how a lot of traders in the space trade, and you can't blame them because it does work out quite well a majority of the time. So we also have Ethereum price can gain 40% on Bitcoin, argues analyst as London Hard Fork nears. I definitely agree with this. I think Ethereum will be doing much better than Bitcoin throughout July, but I do expect a recovery in general for the entire crypto space. So it's also going to greatly depend if we have any companies announcing a big Bitcoin acquisition of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin or more. That could definitely give Bitcoin a major boost over Ethereum as well. So if the crypto space is in a general uptrend throughout July, I will be taking profits on Ethereum on the way up here, and I will be staggering my sell orders like I did mention, because it's impossible to time the top here, especially major uncertainty. We don't know if we're going to be continuing on the uptrend, or if we're going to be dipping and retesting the low 30,000s again. So I do think it's likely accumulation will continue, but I do think a good bounce is expected at some point in July. So the closer we get to the end of July, the more likely we are to get an announcement of a delay for the Ethereum London Hard Fork, which would cause extra selling pressure as well. And then if we do get the actual launch of the Ethereum London Hard Fork, that will give us more selling pressure, also just people selling the mainnet there. So long term, I think Ethereum will be doing great, especially with this major upgrade to the network. But in the short term, I am just doing this as a quick couple trades. I do hold Ethereum long term that I hold in BlockFi, earning over 5% per year on, just sitting there and earning passive income. If you guys do want to get signed up for that and earn up to a $250 Bitcoin bonus, use the link in the video description to make your first deposit, and you'll start earning interest on the crypto you deposit. So Grayscale did add Cardano to digital large cap fund after rebalancing. So that did give a decent boost to ADA over the past couple days, and we did talk about ADA in a recent video. the highest staked value cryptocurrency in the entire space. A massive amount of the total supply of ADA is taken out of circulation and in staking, much more than Ethereum. So definitely a good sign there, and I think as we're approaching the major Cardano Goguen mainnet and other upgrades, smart contracts, major partnerships that are going to be coming, ADA is definitely going to be one of the best return on investment cryptos out of the top 10. So end of year, hopefully things are looking good. If Bitcoin's breaking 100,000, I can't even imagine where ADA is going to be with these major network upgrades coming and all of this demand, major partnerships, things that we can't even fathom at this point. So we have another bullish sign here. Bitcoin exchange supply hits a 6-month low as accumulation continues. The likelihood of another steep sell-off for Bitcoin is diminishing as more holders are accumulating, according to data from Sentiment. So this is showing the rate of Bitcoin's supply on exchanges has encouragingly slid down to its lowest since early January. The 6-month low is a promising sign, as it generally will indicate that there is a decreased risk of a more major Bitcoin sell-off. So the chances of another major 50% dip here is getting smaller by the day as whales continue to accumulate for the long term. A lot of people are beginning to accumulate Bitcoin for retirement as well, like Senator Loomis did state, buy Bitcoin for retirement, because in the long term, mathematically, Bitcoin is designed to get more scarce over time, and as demand rises for it, then the price will as well. So we do have many countries considering regulations right now, which is causing more panic in the space and uncertainty. People are skeptical to be buying cryptocurrencies until regulations are in place, which could mean this is one of the best times to actually be accumulating. Of course, it's impossible to time the exact bottom or top, which is why I do dollar cost averaging and done great with this over the past 4 or 5 years. So in my opinion, regulations are going to be a great thing in the long term, but will cause some volatility in the short term. But this is necessary and it is inevitable as well. Regulations kicking in just further legitimizes the crypto space, so I do think it's a good thing in the long term. So Binance really under the scope here with regulations. We had an issue from Japan, a warning issued from Japan. Binance not authorized to operate in the Cayman Islands, regulator says. Some stuff going on with the UK and a lot of other countries talking about regulations as well. So we did have Senator Loomis talk about Bitcoin on national television a few times in the past couple weeks, stating that people should buy and hold Bitcoin for retirement is pretty massive. She also said, P.S. if you are in the Bitcoin mining space, please reach out. We want you in Wyoming. So Wyoming quickly becoming the hub of crypto innovation in the United States. Another news article here for Wyoming. Wyoming legally recognizes first DAO in the United States, further solidifying its position as the most crypto-friendly state in North America, which is pretty huge in my opinion. We're at the very beginning of this level of adoption. So we're really at the very beginning of mass adoption in my opinion, and we've hardly had any institutions buy a huge amount of Bitcoin. We barely have any adoption on a government level here, and we only have one country so far accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. So imagine the potential here if a couple more countries accept Bitcoin as legal tender, a couple more institutions acquire $1 billion of Bitcoin or more, where the price of Bitcoin and the crypto space will be at this point. And I definitely think that's possible by end of 2021 still. So the NFT space is growing, even though a lot of people are claiming it's dead. It is dead for a high percentage of the NFT space, but these are just the NFTs that are being generated with no real utility or no actual demand behind it. You do have to understand the NFT that's created like art, it has to have a creator behind it that's going to have demand in the future. So there is very few NFT projects that actually have this type of demand, like CryptoPunks, the first NFT series that came out. They have been growing rapidly over the past year, and then the Bored Ape Yacht Club has been doing great as well. I do have a good amount of those and their new dog NFTs, but there's just a lot of total crap NFT series that come out, and there's just no demand for it. The project doesn't continue promoting and building utility for it. That's another thing about Bored Ape Yacht Club, is they're trying to actually add utility to owning a Bored Ape NFT, and not just being a piece of art. It does give you access to the website club and some other things they're working on as well. So very interesting to see where this is headed, and I think this is going to be huge for the gaming space specifically. So something huge here to understand, NFTs make it possible for gamers to have digital property rights, and this is huge in my opinion. I think there's massive utility for NFTs in the gaming space because of this. So games like Counter-Strike, where people are selling Counter-Strike skins on the secondary market. Games like Fortnite, where they have skins and in-game items and stuff, could be created as NFTs, where they could, the player could accumulate this and get them from getting various achievements and then sell them on the markets to other players that are willing to just pay for them. All right, guys, I'm going to quickly go over some small market cap project updates I think that have high potential in the long term. First being SparkPoint SRK here, their new July monthly roadmap. This is the only project in the space I've seen doing monthly roadmaps and hitting these targets, which is great because it keeps investors engaged. It keeps something coming out every week and keeping the ball rolling. So the only problem I see for SparkPoint at this point in time is that they're kind of spread thin with different branches to the platform, like Spark Play, Spark Launch, and Spark Swap, among Spark DeFi and other things. So while they are spread thin right now, I do think all of these things will come together in the long term and really bring adoption to the SparkPoint project. If the Spark Swap even gets 1/10 the volume of PancakeSwap, that's going to be huge for the SRK token alone. So lots of different potential here. They're doing play to earn gaming in mobile, crypto games, Spark Launch, helping projects get launched, giving them a listing on their Spark Swap, and other big things they're working on as well. So definitely one of my long-term picks here, and I am a marketing advisor for this project as well. So next major update here is for StormX. So StormX is a project I've talked about a few times here. I did buy it in the trading series, and I'm holding this and staking it long term. I do think it has high potential. So the fact that they did a contract for 5 years and not 1 or 2 years actually boosts my confidence in the project. It shows they're aiming to be around long term, because why would they pay extra for a 5-year contract when they could have done less? And really just benefited from that. So it does show that they're really looking at the long-term game here, which I really like. I'm going to continue staking this. This is pretty big news and huge marketing for the project as well, especially because they're the first to be doing this. All right, guys, last update for today, which I think is huge for the shopping.io platform. Huge upgrades in the works for this. They have a brand new website coming. They rebranded the logo and graphics, and overall just really upping their game here. Today they announced shopping X Shiba token. So they're accepting the SHIB token on the shopping platform now for purchases on Amazon, eBay, and Walmart with a 2% discount, I believe. So Swipe as well, get 2% discount for 30 days. They just launched something called CoinMaker, which they're going to put 3 cryptocurrencies in the space up against each other in a vote, in which the winner will get a free listing on the shopping platform. And then on top of that, they can partner with them and make a deal to get discounts as well. So Swipe was the first winner, which is pretty big, bigger cryptocurrency, and they just got SHIB. So like I said, when I originally signed on as marketing advisor with them, they're going to easily get partnerships because everyone wants their cryptocurrency listed on this platform, especially with the shopping 2.0 design that's coming, making this a much more professional looking website in general. I think things are really going to start moving much quicker in the near future, and they are working on some new staking options, which I think could bring some more demand and take more SPI and GSPI tokens out of circulation. So that's it for today's crypto news and market update. Like I said, I will be doing another altcoin updates video going over more altcoins and more events coming up and different things I'm bullish on. So be sure to be subscribed and hit the bell to be notified for my daily crypto videos Monday to Friday. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.